Archive begin.
Greetings! This informational archive is to clue you in to the general details, risks, and BSA standard procedure that you should know when dealing with entities under the Dragon categorical umbrella. First, let's tackle the biggest question. What is a dragon? Dragons are mythical entities of extreme power and potential. They can take many physical forms and variations, but all have many shared traits between them. These are aspects such as scales, large horns, membrane wings, vibrant colors, talons, spinal fins, and predator-like jaws. There are also many different types of dragons, each with their own unique take on the dragon form, with their own vibrant coloring, behaviors, and types of abilities available to them. Each dragon is further categorized by color, and further details specific to each type of dragon not covered in this informational archive can be found under the archives shown now. Like many other life forms, dragons have a life cycle. The dragon life cycle is similar to that of the common reptile, starting as an egg the rough size and shape of a bowling ball, then after an extended gestation period, hatching into a small baby dragonling. Now, even though this little dragon looks cute and baby-like, this creature at this premature stage is already in possession of a brain capable of basic sentient thought, foreplanning, and even speech in some cases. Now note, this stage is ideal to apply our ADMD policy, but let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet. Just file that little acronym in the back of your mind for later. Now from here, the dragonling will grow and follow a predictable path to maturity, briefly stopping as a moody young adult until it finally reaches a mighty and powerful adult form, where it will strike out and make its own nest if it has not done so already. Once the dragon has found its new home, it has one primary motivation above all: to build its hoard. With all variations of dragons, all share one common obsession: to accumulate a hoard. Now, our researchers are still scratching their noggins trying to figure out why they have this innate need, but regardless of reason, it is a verifiable fact that they must and shall accumulate a hoard of something. Now, the compositions of each dragon's hoard can vary, however, depending on whatever the type and motivation of the creature. Some will amass a mountain of gold or gems, others wish to have anomalous or arcanic objects. Others will amass trophies of their hunts, and even some of these cunning snakes can amass power and people under their wing as their hoard. Regardless of the type, however, you best believe that they will have a hoard of something tucked away somewhere. Now, it's time for us to brave the brass tacks of our video. What is the potential threat of a dragon? Keen observers probably saw in a prior part of this video, but each dragon, even the weakest, is considered a level 5 major level threat, with potential to become a level 6 global level threat. Even at its youngest form, dragons can be a level 3 to 4 threat. But why are dragons considered so dangerous? Well, there are a multitude of aspects that make dragons a serious threat. As stated previously, each dragon has their own unique aspects and abilities, but all are evolved to be cunning, hunting, and killing machines. In combat, dragons have the innate ability to fly at incredible speeds, have a breath attack that can inflict elemental damage to those in a wide area. Their strength and speed are unmatched, with the ability to accurately and swiftly attack with a multitude of innate weapons, like their claws, teeth, and enormous tail. In the most matured stage, even the simple act of flight can cause those around them to fall flat on their back, making their foes susceptible to further mauling. More cunning and intelligent dragons even have the ability to utilize arcane techniques to cast magics and spells, adding yet another dimension of lethality to their arsenal. Beyond combat prowess, dragons can amass an army of followers and servants in pursuit of their hoards. Many will accrue small lizard and dragon-like entities to serve and fight for them. The more cunning could even enslave and enthrall those of a more separate and complex ancestry. The bottom line is, no entity is safe from their influence. When old enough, their mere presence will alter their environment to be exactly what they suit best, thus causing disastrous ecological damage. Unchecked, a singular dragon can have a veritable nation of its own, posing a threat to any entity and nation wishing to stay from its imposing rule. And that doesn't even consider the fact that they can reproduce on top of that. With such a daunting and looming presence, what can you and the BSA do to stem the tide? Remember that file we had you pack away near the beginning of this video? Well, now is the time to bring that acronym back out. ADMD. All dragons must die. This acronym is our official stance, policy, and procedure for handling all dragons and draconic entities the BSA encounters. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't this a little oversimplified? Brutal, in fact. Well, sometimes the simplest solution is the best solution. And while this might be considered barbaric and brute force, be rest assured that this solution has been heavily considered and approved by our administration. And following this formal procedure, we have been able to ensure this threat never reaches a global scale. So, what is the procedure of ADMD, and what is your place within it? As simple as it sounds, there is a procedure you should follow in the event you encounter a dragon or draconic entity. The actions you are to take heavily rely on what stage of the life cycle you find the dragon in. Remember what we mentioned before? Well, the ideal time to find a dragon is within the first 2 stages of life. As an egg, the dragon is the most vulnerable. While tougher than your usual grocery store egg, most mundane or arcanic weapons and tools can be used to destroy the outside shell of the egg, compromising the dragon within. If you find yourself upon an egg and it is unprotected, it is your duty as a member of the BSA to destroy the egg immediately and report the incident with evidence of the egg if possible. Similarly, if you find a dragon in dragonling form, you must also neutralize the dragonling with whatever tools you have to do so. This similarly can be done with most mundane and arcanic weapons and tools, though the challenge will be significantly greater as it now will be capable of evasion and minor combat. A dragon in any further advanced stage of development is not to be approached or attacked, unless you are a part of a team of individuals tasked with that purpose. If you find yourself encountering a dragon of any higher stage, utilize any tools and capabilities at your disposal to flee safely and report the entity to the nearest BSA administrator or agent as soon as possible. If escape is not possible, your best chance at survival is to hide and report the entity in any way you can, utilizing any communication device or signaling tool. The reporting of the dragon entity is of the highest priority during any encounter. Upon neutralization, any components, evidence, or hordes of the draconic entities are also to be turned over to the BSA for logging, redistribution if necessary to correct parties, and containment if needed. Now, I hate to dwell on the serious stuff for too long, but you'll have to just hang in there a bit longer. After all, this is serious business, and it's important you understand the weight of this threat. With that in mind, what are the consequences of failure to adhere to the ADMD procedure? Failing to adhere to the ADMD procedure comes in many forms. This includes failing to report a dragon sighting, failing to neutralize a dragon during the first 2 stages of development when possible, harboring a draconic entity, negotiating with a dragon entity with intent to follow through, performing any task at the behest or benefit of a dragon entity, committing acts considered treasonous at the behest or benefit of a dragon entity, giving items to a dragon entity when not attempting to flee, or failing to neutralize a dragon during an assignment specifically to do so. Failing ADMD in any way along the outlined forms will result in penalties and corrective action, with a minimum of deranking and a maximum of termination. There is no leeway with these penalties, and punishments are final. If multiple instances are found of failing ADMD, then termination is automatically applied without trial or appeal. Now finally you've made it to the end of our informational archive. Congratulations. We understand you just got a fire hose of information regarding these mighty winged beasts. And if you need a repeat watch, well, then just press that good old rewind button back to the beginning, and you'll see me give you this whole spiel again. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to direct them to your assigned BSA administrator. With this new tool in your toolkit, you can go forth confident that you can better handle any encounter with a draconic entity, big or small. And remember, as part of the BSA, you fight alongside your colleagues and administration to ensure that the world is safe from what it need not know.
Archive end.